WADE 31 reporter Jim Abbott has been following the review's release all day and delving into the report. Jim joins us live now from Decatur. Jim, what's the reaction from the chief and the community there?
Well, Nicole, there are 43 pages in this review, and Police Chief Todd Pinion says he is most proud of the fact that within those 43 pages, there aren't any documented instances of systemic racism or police brutality. He acknowledges that there were mistakes made and that they need to make some changes. As far as community reaction, the people we talked with said there are some good recommendations in this review. They're just now waiting and hoping for the change. Green Research and Technology's review noted several areas of improvement for the Decatur Police Department: better communication, better handling of citizens' complaints, and review of arrests, mostly obstruction and disorderly conduct charges. Reviewers interviewed 55 citizens between 18 and 70, and among them, there was some fear of police and the feeling that officers were overly aggressive at times with arrests. Police Chief Todd Pinion had a different take.
I would consider it to be proactive enforcement aimed at reducing crime to provide citizens in this city a safe place to live.
Pinion says his crime stats prove Decatur is safer now than it has been in the past 20 years. Though Nick Perkins, brother of Stephen, who was killed in an officer-involved shooting in 2023, believes the chief is using those numbers to get around the problems.
I think he avoided everything that was in the review to give statistics at the press conference. And that's not what the public wanted to hear. They wanted to hear an apology for one, and maybe some type of plan to hold himself accountable. He says he is, but we'll see.
Chief Pinion says he's already instituting community policing, something both citizens and officers recommended in the review to enhance the police department's relationship with Decatur residents. He also says he'll do a better job of communicating. Perkins isn't so sure.
From the day that Steve was deceased up until now, there hasn't been accurate communication. So you have to move forward and you have to figure out some type of plan.
In several instances, reviewers mentioned the need for police officers to be better trained and retrained in dealing with the public. Pinion says no problem.
Look, we're not perfect. I think I've said that, and we'll continue to do that. And I think even with some things that I may or may not agree with, we're still going to do majority of the recommendations that are in this report.
Now, you can read a rundown of the key points in this report, read the chief's full statement, and check out those crime statistics for yourself. It's all right there on our website at WadeTV.com. Live in Decatur with coverage you can count on. Jim Abbott, WADE 31 News.
All right, Jim, many thanks to you. Decatur police shot and killed Steve Perkins in his front yard on September 29th. 2023. In an early statement, Decatur Police Chief Todd Pinion said that Perkins had refused to drop his own weapon when confronted by DPD. Nearly 2 weeks after Perkins' death, Pinion publicly recanted that statement, saying it was inaccurate. On October 20th, people blocked traffic on the Hudson Memorial Bridge in protest of Steve Perkins' murder. Several of these protesters were later arrested. On November 16th, Decatur City Councilman Hunter Pepper found harassment reports against several protesters. In the weeks following, many demanded that Pepper, Chief Todd Pinion, and Mayor Tab Bolding resign. In early December, 3 of the officers who responded to Perkins' home that night were fired. Another suspended. On January 5th, 2024, one of those officers, Bailey Marquette, also known as Mac, was arrested and charged with murdering Steve Perkins. We are learning today that the former police officer accused in the death of Steve Perkins, Bailey Marquette, will get an immunity hearing. Court records reveal a judge set Marquette's hearing for March 25th. His murder trial is scheduled to begin on April 7th. He's been out on bond since his arrest in January of 2024.